So my name is Rutendo Mutsamwira. I am a freelance PR consultant. I'm also a radio show host and producer, and I'm also a model, writer, speaker, poet. The one thing that I do know for sure is that I've always wanted to be on radio, so I've always known what I wanted to do from when I was 8 years old. I turned 31 this year, and it took me 23 years for me to finally be doing the one thing I've always wanted to do, and that's being on radio. I am signed to Noir Models, which is a talent agency in Johannesburg. They connected me with the station I'm at now, and that's how I started. I think I got to a point where I realized that I needed to live through a number of things before I go on radio. And by say live through a number of things, I've always believed in three things. Number one, adding value in people's lives in whatever capacity I do it. Number two, leaving people with seeds or things that they can reflect on that will help them in their lives. And lastly, I also believe in God's timing. So I believe that it took me so long to get on radio because there's a lot about myself that I needed to develop before I could be on such an enormous and responsible platform. I'm still figuring that out. So maybe ask me in a couple of months, maybe a couple of days. At this moment in time, I'm a work in progress. I'm a queen who is a work in progress. When I was younger, I tried to commit suicide a number of times because of a number of different things. So I used to self-harm a lot. I used to have issues around my weight because I was a lot bigger than I am now. So it was difficult for me to accept who I was because of my body, because of my shape. That's probably the most consistent thing that I can remember. Despite having challenges with my weight, I said I'm going to be a model, my size, my way. And I was very specific and intentional about how I did that because I had a bucket list. I've got a bucket list. So my bucket list was to model, but not just to model. My bucket list was to open or close a collection. Because when you see models walk, you always remember the one who starts, who sets the pace, or the showstopper. So I said that size, I was going to be either one of those two things. And I created runway music for a designer that I collaborated with. And I became Zimbabwe's first plus-size run model in 2014. And now I'm signed to a Johannesburg agency, trying to see how best I can develop that which I started a couple of years ago. I have to be really, really honest, because number one, I was such a tomboy. So I never used to wear heels when I was in high school. When you're in the sixth form, you have to wear court shoes. I always used to have an excuse. I used to wrap around a little bandage and pretend to, limp because I didn't want to wear heels. Number one, I didn't find heels my size. Number two, I was also insecure in walking in high heels because I don't know, I just felt weird. I don't have any advice for my younger self. It's probably just pat myself on the back, younger Rutendo. Because if I look at some of the stuff that I've managed to do and achieve when I was younger, I'm like, wow. The advice I'll have to anyone, not only younger, don't ask for permission. There's too much bureaucracy in asking for permission. Don't share your dreams with people that are not aligned with where you want to go. Just do it. Because I remember I used to sneak out of the country. I'll be at work and then I'll go out of the country to go and model. And I'll always tell my parents a couple of hours, going to the airport. Which obviously, in hindsight, wasn't a great thing. But when you believe in yourself and what you want to do, don't ask for permission. I don't know who said this, but they said it's better to apologize than ask for permission. Because once you've done something, if you're not going to kill someone, if it's not illegal, all you can say is, I'm sorry, I didn't know better. That's how I've lived, that's how I'll continue to live. I don't ask for permission. Unless it's really necessary. But no, apologize if you need to, and keep it moving. When it comes to loving yourself and falling in love with yourself, before you can even do that, you have to be honest with yourself. You have to actually take time and just sit yourself down and spend time with yourself. You have to appreciate solitude for you to understand your quirks, the things you're good at, and the areas that you need to improve on. I think only then can you then realize that despite the fact that I need to work on A, B, C, or D and develop this, that's the only way you can love. How can you love something that you don't know when you've never given yourself time to even know and figure out who you are? Yes, my website is rutendomutsamwira.co.zw. I also blog about my experiences in finding who I am, my mental health challenges, and I think it's important for us to share stories like we're doing now.